Crazy Bear Gold here. Day one of the series, Making Millions Using the Crafting Spreadsheet. Welcome in. Hope everyone's doing well. We're going to start with nothing and show you how you can start making gold. First thing we need to cover is add-ons. So Crazy Bear Gold has 4 add-ons that it's using. It's using Auctionator, Journalator. Auctionator is an enhanced auction house. Journalator will track our sales for us, and TradeSkillMaster will post our auctions for us. And the fourth one is BlizzMove. BlizzMove allows us to bring up the auction house and our crafting window at the same time. Let's get into the crafting spreadsheet. So the first thing is, in the description will be the link to this spreadsheet. You simply go to that link and it will bring up this spreadsheet. Now this is a view only spreadsheet. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make a copy of it by going to File, make a copy, and you can name it anything you want. I will call this CBG Tutorial V2. And I'll make a copy. Now that we have the copy, we no longer need the original, so let's get rid of that so we don't get confused. You'll notice that this spreadsheet has multiple tabs at the bottom. Overview is just a description of what this spreadsheet does. A shopping list is where we will put in the shopping list. We'll see that in just a minute. Math is a consolidated math view. Crafting is where you're going to spend the vast majority of your time. This is the real meat and potatoes of making gold using this crafting spreadsheet. Will be in crafting. Journalator and sales will be covered in a later video. They're tracking our sales. We've got to have some first to be able to track. So we're going to jump right into creating a shopping list. So this is step one. The first thing you have to do is you have to create a shopping list. But what are you going to create a shopping list of? This is what you want to make. What are the crafts that you want to try and sell? We know that the Agari Mana Oil sells really well. So we're going to use that as our first craft. So in order to create a shopping list, what I need to do is get on the auction house. There's my auction house. And then bring up my crafting window, having them side by side. That's when we like BlizzMove. It makes it easier. We go to shopping and we're going to create a new list. Simply go to new list and I'm going to call it CBG Tutorial V2. Now, in your shopping list, you need to put in not only what you're making, but also how you make it. So I need Agari Mana Oil. There we go. Add that to the list. And what are the ingredients? Lead-line residue. Add that to the list. And storm dust. We'll add that to the list. So we now have a shopping list with what we're going to make, what are the ingredients it takes to make it. Now I can click on the magnify and say search the entire list. I'm going to go out and pull up all of the items I need. We'll export that. And we're going to hit the Control C, which is to copy this. So we want to copy this text. Now we go to our spreadsheet. And in the AA shopping list, column A1, it's very specific. You have to be in A1. You will paste it, which is a Control V, Victor. Control V is to paste. Now we simply click the update prices. First time you run this, it will say, are you sure you want to do this? This is because it's a security feature. Yes, Crazy Bear is trustworthy, so you can just simply click on, yes, I want to do this, and now it will literally run the code. Takes a couple seconds for it to process it. Okay. Step one, create the AA shopping list, run the shopping list, go to the AA shopping list tab, paste it in the A1 column and hit update prices. That's step one. Step two is we have to now tell the system what it is we're crafting and what is the formula to craft. Fortunately, there's no way that I know of to import this, so we're going to have to do it manually. So we're going to go to the crafting spreadsheet, which is where you're going to spend the vast majority of your time. You'll spend very little time in the other spreadsheet, the other tabs. Okay, a little bit about the way the spreadsheet is organized. Anything that you see in yellow means you need to key it in probably once and never change it again. Anything you see in blue, that's something that the spreadsheet is providing to you, the value of the spreadsheet. You don't touch those cells. They just give you information. Anything in green is stuff you would change after every craft. You'll see me using those on every one of these, but that's just the general format. So the three colors: yellow means change it once and probably leave it alone. Blue, never touch. Green, change every time you craft. So let's start filling this out. So the first column is your column. You can do anything you want here. I like to put in what it is my profession is, TWW enchanting. And then I like to say who I'm using as my crafter, Crazy Bear Gold. Okay, what am I going to craft? Now, when you do this, whenever you can, you want to try and copy from the Mats column tab into the crafting. So here's my Gary Man Oil. I'll copy that and then I'll paste it. The reason for that is this name has to match exactly what's here. So if you copy and paste, you're assured that you got the right thing. Now what I need to do is I need to go over and I need to tell it what are the ingredients that are needed to make the Gary Man Oil. Flip back to our crafting. I need 10 ley line residue. So let me go get 10 ley line. So I'm going to go back to Mats, ley line residue, go back to crafting, paste that in, and I need 10. So there's the name. This is ingredient quantity, how many you need. You can mouse over these and see descriptions of what each of these columns are. You'll get used to them pretty quick. This is required rank. There is no rank on ley line residue. You can't buy a rank 1, 2, 3, so you can leave that blank. The next thing I need to make this is storm dust. I need 5 of them. So I'm going to come back to Mats, pick up my storm dust, go back to crafting, paste that in. I need 5 of those. And this, I want to use the cheapest mats possible, so I'll say rank 1. Notice it says a PI, which is the rank of the item you're going to make. Now, I happen to know that I'm going to be able to make rank 2s even with using rank 1 here. Okay. The next thing I need to figure out is how many do I want to make? If you notice in the introduction, we're going to start out with 500,000 and we're going to track this for 7 days. So I want to spend some money, but not too much. One of the ways that you can kind of figure out how much you want to make is you can say, okay, if you're using TSM, it takes and shows you how many sell on a daily basis. Bring that up right here. TSM gives you the average daily sold. Now, I'm going to try and get 10% of the sales. Don't know if I'll make it, but that's what I'm going to try and do. So 10%, I'm going to round that up to 5,000. That means I need to make 500 of these in order to sell for a day's worth of stuff. So 500 is what I want. Again, you can make that any number you want, but that's what I want to do. Next, I look at the Gary Man Oil. Notice every time I craft 1, I get 5. So that means I really don't need to make 500. I need to make 100 because it's going to give me 5 times that. So back to my spreadsheet. My trial size will be 100. Notice the system is automatically calculated. That's going to cost me 90,000 gold. That's good. I like that. I'll do that. Step 2 is putting in what you want to make and all of the ingredients and the quantities that you need. So I've done that. Perfect. Now I'm ready to make this. I can come over to this shopping column and copy this. Now, the beauty is now this spreadsheet has created a shopping list. So I can say import and paste it. And now it tells me, okay, here's, you need to get Leland, you need to get 1,000. Because remember, it was 10 per every time I craft. So 10 times 100 is 1,000. So I need to buy those. And then the storm dust, remember it was 5. So 5 times 100 is 500. Yep, the system is giving me what I need. I can go to the mailbox and collect my mail. Now I'm ready to craft. Now, before I do that, I want to take and show you a couple things. First off, I've got the blue accessories and the purple tool. Now notice this is resourcefulness tool. I need to have the multi-craft tool. So I'm going to go down to my bags. I do have one of each. So there's my multi-craft. So now I'm crafting with the absolute best you can craft with on this tune. So if you're testing, you might get different results if you don't have the best tools and accessories. The other thing I need to do is I need to get file of bountiful. All right, it's bountiful. Let's just say current expansion. There they are. I don't like buying the rank 3. Notice it's almost 10 times the rank 2. I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of resourcefulness and multi-craft for rank 2 stuff. I'm going to get 20 of those. Oh, I also need crystal for enchanting. You need crystal and powder to shatter to get you the best craft possible. So let me go on and get some of that. There we go. I'm just going to buy 1,000 of these. They're cheap. So I'll buy 100. I don't need many. There we go. Now I'm ready to go. So I've got all the buffs that I can get. I got my crystalline powder and I got my bountiful. All right, so I'm just going to double check. I'm going to be making Algary mana oil. Yep, it says I've got 100. I can make 100. It says multi-craft is the tool that I want to use. Multi-craft is important over resourcefulness. So I got multi-craft tool on. That's perfect. Got my blue accessories. Okay, I'm ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is shatter. That gives you a buff. If you notice here, it says you get a buff of 165 resourcefulness, ingenuity, and multi-craft. Yeah, we like buffs. And I'm going to do the vial of bountiful. Now I'm ready to craft. Okay, because of multi resourcefulness, I was able to craft 6 extra. So let's get those crafted. See if I get lucky and can craft one more. Yeah, it looks like I am. So I just craft all of my materials, or as many as I can. Keep crafting until I run out of something. That looks like as good as it gets. Okay. So with TSM, I can mouse over the item, and I can see that I actually made 755. So in case you're not seeing that, let me show that to you. right here, it tells me on this player I have 755. That's the number I need. I also have 2 Leyline and 21 Storm Dust. So I go back to my crafting spreadsheet. So I got 755. I had 2 Leyline, so that's what this green box is I have 2 Leyline, and Storm Dust I had 21. So I have 21. This is resource savings, so I saved 460 gold out of 90,000 because of resourcefulness. It's saying right now, if I sell this at the minimum price of 125, this is auction house minimum. This is the current price. Auction house price is 126. To sell it as cheap as 125 and break even, my actual cost without the auction house cut is 119. So it's saying if I sell it at the 126, I'll make 5,000. That's a 6% profit. There was my cost. This is expected sales income. This is how much I expect to make. So you can see that minus that should equal that. Okay, so now you know all of these columns right here, what they mean and how they're figured. Get into TSM. I'm going to create a brand new group called Enchanting. And I'm going to create a group underneath that. Now I do break it out by each item. So this is Algari Nano Oil. This does take a little bit of work, but it gives me the flexibility to be able to change as the market changes. So there's my Algari Nano. Now what I do is I copy this name. And I override my auctioning and I say new one. Now these were left over from a previous test. So sure, I'll just go on and use this one. I'll just use the Algari Nano Oil that I already have. Let's go take a look at it. So one of the things that I do is I always change my auction to 12 hours. Because I know that 5,000 of these sell in a day, so that would be 60. A little trick I use is I say keep one in my bag. The reason is you'll see in TSM, if I run out of this item, it's easy for me to know when I run out when I'm posting by keeping one in my bag. You'll see that in just a minute. Now, according to my thing, my minimum price is 125. I don't ever put it at the minimum and make it a little bit more. So I'm going to say, yep, 126 is as low as I'm going to go. I'm going to make a little bit of gold on this. I always make the normal price twice, so that would be 252. My math is correct. I always say, you know what, if there's none on the market, let's get greedy, and I'm going to make it 10 times what my crafting cost is. Yep. Let's get this on the auction house. Posting, go here. All right, now we're ready to go. Those posts, sure, there it's posted. We're done with day one. First, we took and we went to the spreadsheet, which will be in the description below. We made a copy of it. Then we took and went into the auction house using Auctionator and created a shopping list. Right here is the shopping list we created right there. Once we did the shopping list, we searched it, do an export of the results. We would then went to our spreadsheet, into the AH shopping list, and we pasted the results, and we did update prices. Now, at any point, if you want to see how the market is doing, it doesn't hurt anything to do an update. So I can actually do that right now. So I can actually come in here and say, has the market changed on me? So I can just run the shopping list again. And what that's going to do is you'll see that in just a second. Is if I come over here to the shopping, not much has changed. If the price on the auction house had changed, you would have seen that right here. If the price of the mats changed, then you would see that right here. So you can see that not much has changed since I did this, but you can do that. We then put in how many we wanted to craft. You can also see what our cost was going to be, what it was going to cost us to buy those mats. And then once we got done crafting, we keyed in the quantity we made, and any items that were left over, we put them here to go into the resourcefulness savings. Okay, so that's the end of day one. We're going to sell these. I'm going to post the mana oils all day long today, and then tomorrow we'll bring up a couple more enchanting items. Thank you for watching. Come back again.